Hello everyone, Sergeant Thomas here, and welcome to episode 1 of Building Econ Ridge. In this video, I'm going to explain to you guys what this world's going to be about and what the series is going to be all about. This is going to be the creative world that I've been wanting to build a city in, and I have started building a city in another world, and I ended up stopping the building process in that other world because at the time they had announced that they were coming out with custom flat seeds, and so I put that world on hold and waited for custom flat seeds, which we have now. And so now I am officially going to start building the city that I have talked about and have been wanting to build for a long time now. I've always been wanting a flat seed, but that wasn't only 3 blocks deep, and now we can go just about as deep as we want to, and in this particular world it is 32 blocks deep, which is plenty enough underground if I need to build anything underneath any of the buildings that I build or anything like that. So yeah, all I've done so far, as you can see, is just put a road in, but again, this video is just going to be me explaining how the process of me building the city is going to go. So far all I got is the road going from, I guess we'll just consider the sun being towards the north. So we got it going north and south, and it goes all the way from one end of this map to the other end, and this entire world is not just one map, it is a large world, but I'm obviously going to start in this one map first, and if I ever get it completely filled up, we'll go to the next map that's connected to it, but that will be a long ways from now. And yeah, like I pointed out, it's 32 blocks deep. I added these little, I think they're called ponds or lakes, but yeah, they're little ponds, and they do look kind of weird, but hopefully as stuff starts to get built around them, they'll kind of blend in and they'll look more natural than they do right now with nothing built around them. So yeah, we'll have to see. And I want to give a big thank you and somewhat of a shout out to one of my subscribers, Treble Runner. In my last video, he left a comment and said that he was having a bit of a problem hearing me, and I wasn't sure why he was or anybody else for that matter was having a problem hearing me, but I figured out it's on the back of my mic. There is a switch, and I can switch it from 1, 2, and 3, which are 3 different settings, and I must have accidentally switched it at one point, and it was on the wrong setting. So hopefully you guys can hear me better now, and that's all fixed. But since all I have done so far is the road, I'm going to explain how the road is made. You guys can pretty much see what materials I used. I used stone half slabs, right? These are called stone, right? Yes, stone slabs. We have nether quartz half slabs, and then we have stone brick half slabs. This is supposed to be like the curb of the road, and then this is supposed to be like the white painted line, and then obviously the road. And then you got the same thing on this side, and this is going to be one side of the road going, you know, the cars will travel in this direction, and then on this side the cars travel in this direction. At least that's how it is here in the United States of America, so that's how I'm going to do it in this world. I am going to, and I'm not doing it right this minute, but I'm going to add white lines like this in the road, just to give it kind of like, you know, make it look like the road is divided. It's got 2 lanes, you know. So I'm going to do something like that. I'm also going to build a sidewalk, which I'll show you in a minute. But to give you guys, just in case you want to build this, you know, road for yourselves, I'll give you the size of how big it is. I think starting with this white nether quartz slab, let's count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So yes, if you don't count the curbs on each end, the road itself, where it is down one half a slab, it is 17 blocks wide, and then obviously I have the curb as the stone slab, and then the median curb stone slab, and then the grass here in the middle, I have it as 5 blocks wide. And then it's the same exact thing on that side. So that's how that is. how I want to move on from here. Oh, and that's the center of the world, by the way. If you look at the coordinates on the map, this is the very center. 0x0, and the z is at 0. I'm not sure if I'm going to actually start there. I was planning on it, but I changed my plans, and I think what I'm going to do is actually start over here. And you can also see there's a village in the background. I don't know if that's going to stay or not. It depends on, you know, how I build around it, if it blends in well or not. It's probably not going to, because I kind of want to do more of a modern city. Maybe not every single thing that I build would be modern, but for the most part, I want it to be modern. So those will probably get torn down, but for now, they're out of the way. I'm building this similar to the other world that I mentioned earlier in the video, where I had started a city and then I stopped because they had announced flat seeds would be customizable in the next, you know, update, which obviously we have now. So now that I think about it, let's jump into that world. And for anybody that's new and hasn't seen it, and even if you have seen it, it will refresh your mind. I'm kind of somewhat gonna build what we're doing here off of that world. So we're gonna jump in there and take a look at it, and it's not gonna be exactly the same, but it's gonna be very similar. So again, this world is going to be called Econ Ridge. That's going to be the name of the city. This one was just called City at the time. And I'll show you, again, if you're a new viewer, what I had to do to get the level. I think I'm at level 33. Here we go. Yeah, 33. The other world was 32. This one's at 33. And to get this level, I actually had to build this entire, you know, ground, I don't know what you would call it, but this whole layer. And that's why I stopped when they announced customizable flat seeds, because for me to just continue and continue, it takes days and hours just to lay this dirt out to be at this level, so that I have room underneath to, you know, build basements like I was going to do to this house over here, or put redstone in, or have a train track like which is over here, which we'll check that out in a second. But basically, this is kind of where I'm at in the other world when it comes to the road. You guys probably, you know, can see that the median splits right here, and then I have the road starting right here. And I'm going to do it similar to this, where I'm going to use these type of streetlights that I came up with. They're a little bit big, but I kind of like them. I'm going to do the sidewalks probably in sandstone again. I think it looks pretty decent in sandstone. You guys can let me know. What do you guys think? I think it looks pretty good in sandstone. And then the trees, I gotta start adding the trees down the median and stuff like that. But yeah, I think I'm gonna start with the neighborhood like this. I'm gonna start with the first house, and then, you know, start from there. I'm trying to think, what was I gonna show you guys? There was something in particular I was gonna show you, but anyways, here's the railroad track behind the houses. I don't know if I'm going to do this again or not. It'll be a lot easier building it in the customizable flat seed world, because this one I had to manually, you know, make this look the way it looks, and it was very difficult. As you can see behind here, I had to do layers and layers of dirt, and then come back and, you know, carve it out myself. But anyways, there's this bridge here where the train tracks go underneath. But again, I don't know if I'm going to do these railroad tracks again. We'll see. I'm definitely going to do a park again like this. This was actually the last thing I was building in this world when I stopped building in here, was this park. I had a lot more to do to it. And I want to build a similar park to this in the other world we just left, and we'll be going back to in a minute. But as you can see, this neighborhood was named Econ Ridge. And to explain that, because I had made a video the other day, it was a survival video, I was talking about this new creative world that I plan on building, and I told everybody that was watching that video that I would explain in this video why it's named Econ Ridge. So basically, where I live in real life, there was a road called Econ Lockhatchee, because I live in Florida, and there's a lot of Indian type names or Native American type names, whatever you want to call it. I don't even know. But a lot of people call it Econ Lockhatchee, but it's really pronounced Econ, and there's a river called the Econ River, and there's a road called the Econ, but everybody just for short calls it the Econ Road or the Econ. And then Ridge comes from the neighborhood I grew up in. I grew up in a neighborhood called Sutton Ridge, which was off the main road, Econ. So I just put the two names together, Econ Ridge, and I'm just going to call it Econ Ridge, the New World. And maybe even the neighborhood like this one is. I may name, a particular neighborhood, because I may build multiple neighborhoods. We'll just have to see. Wherever I make the spawn, since now we have the ability to change the spawn, I'm going to make the spawn look like this. For this particular world, this was the spawn. This, the spawn was like, I don't know, maybe say for right here or something like that. And I made this like a construction site where it looks like they're pouring the foundation, or they're about to pour the foundation for a house, and it's under construction. So I want to do something like that for wherever I make the spawn at in the new world. And like I said, most of the houses I'm going to build are going to be modern, because I don't normally build these style of homes. For some reason, I find building modern homes to be easier than building these traditional colonial style homes. Some of these aren't bad. Like this one over here is the first one I built, and I think it came out size wise, it looks great. This one looks a little too big compared to that one. It's kind of hard to tell. And then this one, it looks good in the front, but then in the back I was running out of room inside the house, so I added this on as the kitchen. But then when I made the roof, it ended up on the back deck, and it just looked weird. And then you got this house, which I seen an image on Google Images of a house similar to this. It was either a Minecraft house or a real life house, I don't remember. And I was trying to base this house off of that image, just the front of it, and then I was going to do the rest of it off the top of my head, which I did. And I just think it's a little too small. It's a little too thin. From that end to this end, it's just too thin. It needs to be brought further out this way. It's just too small of a house. And then this house here, the front of it to me, like from here, this house looks great. But then when you get back here to the back, it's just completely flat, and I think it looks so horrendous. And then this one too, look how flat it is in the back. But if you look at the front looks amazing. I'm just not good at building these style homes. I think I have gotten better with them. There's certain things, again, that I do like about them, and there's certain things I don't. So I'm not going to start with these style homes. When we start really building the city, I'm going to go with, modern, and then maybe mixing it up maybe every once in a while and building one of these style homes. And then this over here, I'll show this really quick, and then we'll probably jump back in the new world where we're going to start building the city. This was a shopping plaza, and I did like it. It just took me a long time to build this, and now it was pretty much a waste of time. I guess you could say it was practice, but it's not going to be used, at least not in this world. I may come back in here and try to, record this and use it, and try to basically copy and paste it in the other world. Maybe change some things up. We'll see. But yeah, it was supposed to be a shopping center with 5 stores. You got the red and the blue, the black, yellow, and darker blue. You got this light blue here. And then this was the sign. I didn't know what to do. I just made some weird design. But that's pretty much it. And again, the main reason I'm not building in this world is because now we have custom flat seeds, and instead of me having to actually build, the world as well as everything in the world, all I have to do now is just build on the ground, because we don't just have 3 blocks deep to work with. So enough of me blabbing about this world. Oh yeah, and I had this lake, and I didn't know. I was going to make it an ocean, then it would look like a lake, and then it looked horrendous, so it was another reason to kind of put this world off to the side and wait for the custom flat seeds. But yeah, this is the basic idea layout wise when it comes to the road and how I want to do the houses lot wise. But again, they're going to be more modern. So let's jump back into the other world. Okay, so again, I mentioned it. I'm not building this world exactly like the world we were just in, but I do want to somewhat use some of the same ideas. I'm gonna start here and start building a neighborhood, and I'm gonna do it very similar where when you turn into the neighborhood, there's gonna be a house on this side and one on that side, and then one next to each house, all the way down. And then from there, I'm not exactly sure. I may end it with like a cul-de-sac, like say the houses end here on this road and I can build a cul-de-sac. Or I was thinking I could have the road come down and make a left and go that way, make another left, and then maybe have a road up the center and have, you know, basically multiple streets and have it as a little subdivision like neighborhood. That's one idea I'm really thinking about doing, is the one with the street curving left and curving back and all that. And then when it comes to the city, I want to build the city down this way towards the direction of the sun, but I want to build it to where when you get about here, then you start seeing the city skyline start to come in. And that's really as far as I've, you know, thought it out and planned it out. And then, you know, like over here we could have a random gas station. Further down there could be a lake. On this side, a little bit before you get to the city, there could be like a Walmart. You know, at this point, I'm planning it out, and I don't know how often I'll be able to build in here on camera, or how often I'll be able to give you guys updates because of, you know, the whole survival series I'm doing. I don't want to put that on hold and then start building in here and then put this on hold. I want to try to do both at the same time. And another reason I don't know if I'll be able to record while I'm in here working, a lot of you guys have been subscribed for a while. I've mentioned this plenty of times, is I'm not that great at building on camera when it comes to creative mode, because in my mind, I guess this is why. I don't really know why, but I think it's because I have all of these options to work with, and it overwhelms me to where I don't know what to do, and it takes me so long to come up with, okay, I'll use this, and then I'll use a little bit of that, and some of these and some of those, and then my mind starts going a million miles a second to where I don't know what blocks to use and where to use them. And then it, you know, if I'm building on camera, I'm going to be either doing a lot of editing where it's going to take me like forever to edit the video, and a lot of recording, just because and I'm like this either way. I build something and I either don't like it or I do like it. And if I don't like it, I tear it down and I start over. And I do that a lot. So I plan on planning things out. Like once I actually start building, like the first house I build in here, I'm gonna build it off camera. I mean, there's no two ways about it. I'm not gonna build it on camera. I'm at least gonna start with the first structure off camera, and then maybe the next one I can do on camera if I plan it out. Maybe get some inspiration from other people's videos, or look at some real life houses or some other Minecraft houses, and, you know, base the general house that I build on camera off of something else, but with my own design, by maybe even sketching stuff out like a real architect would do. But I'm not very good at drawing and sketching. That's the problem. But those are just things floating around in my head, things I want to do. You guys can leave me suggestions and give me ideas at any time. You can do it in this video or an upcoming one where I have something built and I ask you guys, what do you think about this or that? I want you guys to have input on this type of stuff, and I want you guys to come along with me as, you know, basically we build the city. Even though I'm going to do it solo, I still want to show you guys what's going on and get some input from you guys and maybe use some of your suggestions. So feel free to leave suggestions. But anyways, let's do a little bit of building really quick, and then I'll probably end this video and start planning some more. The first thing I want to do is build some trees on this median. That's the very first thing I want to do. Actually, no. Actually, let me see. Would I use these? I guess so. Let's actually put in some more of these like crosswalk pieces like this there to make that all connect. So that's where people will cross the street. But now I'm wondering, should I take away this grass? Because usually you don't walk across grass, you walk across cement or asphalt. So I'm thinking to match the road, I will use this. we'll just have to see how this looks. I don't know how it's gonna look. But yeah, I'm sorry for like talking maybe too fast or talking a lot and just rambling, but that's kind of what I wanted this video to be, was me explaining how things were gonna go. And hopefully you guys are on the same page with me and agree with a lot of the things I plan on doing. And we'll just have to go. We'll just have to go with it. This is something I've really wanted to do for the longest time. Was build a city, and we're gonna do it. I guess that doesn't look too bad. I could even, you know, to be honest, I could even just drop this whole layer here and have the median end right where you see this line that I just put in. You know, let's try that. So I'll rip all this out, and we'll just drop it down a layer, and it might actually look better. But then again, I don't know. We'll just have to try it out. What's the worst that could happen? I'll just have to tear it out and make it look like it did before. Okay, so there's that. And you know what? I would probably move these back again. For some reason, I don't like them being flush with this one. It's just a personal preference, I guess, is the right word. Yeah, that doesn't look bad. Yeah, let me know in the comments, because I'll leave that one like that for now, and then you guys can let me know, and maybe I'll use your suggestion. What do you guys like? Do you like part 1? I'll just call it part 1, whatever. Part 1 or part 2? Let me know. I kind of don't mind either one. The reason I kind of don't like this one is the fact that the median ends here, but the corner of the street ends there, you know? It's kind of off. I don't know. It's not that big of a deal. But anyways, let's go ahead and try to make some trees. I haven't done this since that other world that we were in a minute ago, and I hadn't played in there for a long time, so let's see if I remember how to make these trees. There's probably a tutorial somewhere on YouTube if I can't figure this out. But we'll just have to see. You would get oh yeah, I need blocks of wood, don't I? I think I do. I can't remember. See, I don't know. Then you do something like that, and then you build up like, I want to say it's 3 blocks, and then you hit it with bone meal. I don't know. I don't remember if the glowstone had to be there or not. I can't not remember. Come on, don't do me like this. There you go. Okay, yeah, that kind of worked. That tree's a little weird looking, but I think I got it. Yeah, we'll have to trim this up a little. But yeah, a lot of this stuff I would do off like camera. I won't necessarily show you guys me, you know, building trees and stuff, because I'm gonna be building a ton of trees. You know, the only time maybe I would show stuff like this is if, you know, I have something to talk about, just something random to talk about, and you guys are, you know, listening to me talk about that random whatever it is while I build a tree. You know, that would make more sense. Forgot, gotta grab leaves too so I can fill in these open spots. Yeah, that looks a little better. I might not keep this tree. I might tear it down once I'm done and redo it, but we'll see. We'll see how the next one comes out. Actually, you know what? Let's see. Where is this one ending? Let's hold on. It's 1, 2, 3, and then 4 back. Okay, the 4th one back. All right. So that would be. This would be 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's right. I don't know. Yeah, that should be right. Anyways, yeah, let's try this. And these I'm gonna put on this side. And bone meal it. And I'm also going to, if you guys remember the world we just left, how I said Econ Ridge on like the brick wall looking like wall I had. I'm gonna do that wall again, and I'll probably do it in brick as well. I can't really think of anything else that would look, better. So yeah, I'll end up doing the wall. But first, I have to figure out where the sidewalk's going to go. And I'm going to do it out of sandstone. And I had it something like this. It was similar to this. The only thing that's a problem right here is this is 2 wide and this is 3 wide, so that doesn't work. But I'm pretty sure it's the same way in the other world, so what am I doing wrong? I'll have to check that out. Move this back. And also, like I said, I'll probably build the first house, or I know I will. I'll build the first house off camera, and then I'll show it to you guys. And then we'll move on from there. I think the first house that I'll build, it may not be exactly the same as a house that I've already built, but I may use a house from one of my other old worlds, and build a similar house. It won't be exactly the same way, because I can never build 2 of the same houses. Because sometimes people ask me to do a tutorial on a certain house, and I end up, having to tell them sorry that I can't, because none of my 2 houses are the same. I don't think I've ever built 2 houses that are exactly the same, even when I've copied a house. Because I know I have copied a house almost block for block, and it was still different. Because it's just impossible. And a lot of that's due to the size of the house I may end up using, But anyways, I think I'm going to go ahead and end this video to figure out why the crosswalk is 3 blocks wide and the sidewalk's only 2. Because the sidewalk's staying 2 blocks wide. It looks right when it comes to scale. When you compare your character, that's about as wide as a sidewalk should be. 2 people can pass each other without having to squeeze off to the sides. And this crosswalk, it just doesn't look right unless I make it 4, knock these out and make it 4, which I might end up doing. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and end this video. I hope you guys are excited to see some creative stuff over time. And again, I don't know how often I'll record in here or how often I'll be able to make a video on this world. But I do want to jump back and forth from survival and to this creative world, and slowly over time build the city. I'm not in no rush to really build it. I kind of am, because I've wanted to build it for so long and I've had to wait, and I feel like now it's finally gonna happen. But at the same time, I'm not in a rush, because it will give me something to make videos on, and I want to take my time and I want to make it right, at least in my own mind and my own, I don't even know the word, but anyways, you guys know what I mean. At least I hope you do. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it to this, to the end of the video, comment. Let me see. I want to see how many people make it to the end of the video. What should they comment? Comment glowstone. If you've made it to the end of this video, just simply write glowstone. Or you can write something else with it, like nice video, whatever. Or your video sucked, glowstone. But to let me know that you've made it this far to the video, write glowstone in the comments. And thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in my next video.